Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope everything is good and great and wonderful and fantastic. Look, no props. I have nothing in my hands today. Today is just a talk, like a classic let's just talk to each other video. I've been looking for a Chromebook for a while now, and I think I've talked about it here, but I'm not asking for one. I think I found one locally that I can get a hold of, and we'll see. I need to see how that works out first. I may or may not still be looking for a Chromebook. So if you have a lead to one that's under $100, let me know. And I'm not saying that because I'm cheap. I'm saying that because I don't need like a modern version of a Chromebook. I don't need the Chromebook to do anything other than launch Google Docs. I basically just want a portable word processor. That's it. I don't want it to do anything else. And that's kind of the point of getting the Chromebook, is that it doesn't do anything else. It's distraction free. It's going to just be a Google Docs, portable Google Docs type writer, essentially. And the reason is because I want to start making writing a part of my daily routine. So if you know of one, especially an older model that's not being used anymore, that's what I'm really looking for. The modern Chromebooks are they're more expensive. I can't really afford one. I mean, I could. I have enough money in my bank account to go buy one, but Christmas is coming, and I'd rather spend the money on the kids. So I'm not looking to spend $200, or I can go to Woot and get one for $150. So, but those are like upgraded last year models. I could use a Chromebook from like 2015. It doesn't need to be anything. It just needs to launch Google Docs and be able to type, right? And I've been thinking a lot about it because, if it's not obvious, I've been reading a lot lately. I mean, I just read The Stand in 10 days. That's 120 pages a day. I read the Mistborn trilogy in 10 days. Actually, 7 days. 7 days of actual reading time. That's more than that. That's significantly more pages than that. Per day. I mean, like, I don't know how many total pages there are, but whatever. I've been reading a lot, and most of you assume that I'm a fast reader, and it's not necessarily that I'm a fast reader. I do probably read faster than the average reader, meaning words per minute. But it's just a matter of I put in the time, right? Like if I'm interested in a book, I will put in the time to read that book. I will spend 4, 5, 6 hours a day reading. If I'm not interested, I don't. And part of that is that I don't do anything else. Like I don't watch TV. I don't really play video games that much. I mean, when I'm in my video game phase, I do. But right now I'm in a book phase. And so when I'm in a book phase, that's what I do. Like that's it. I clean, I cook, and I read. And I do my job, obviously. I work. But I don't have other hobbies interfering. So it's not like I have to take time out to watch the sports game or take time. I just read. Like when I have the time, when the girls aren't here, I just read. So I would like to continue. Some focus, and say I'm going to do something else at least 1 hour a day. That's going to be my goal. I'm going to spend an hour a day writing, and I'm not going to say that I'm writing books. I'm not going to say that I'm writing short stories. I'm just going to say writing. I'm going to spend an hour a day writing. It used to be I probably spent a half hour a day journaling. We could argue and say that I spend this time every day journaling. This is kind of the modern iteration of what my old journal was. My old journal was much more internal thoughts type stuff. I didn't really write down external things. I wrote down how I was feeling throughout the day. I wrote down interactions with the people that gave me pause or whatever. But I'm not necessarily going to do that. Ultimately, I do want to write stories. I do want to write fiction, narrative fiction. But I'm not going to say that I have to write fiction while I'm sitting at this thing typing for an hour a day. And I want the Chromebook, one, because it's distraction free, and two, because I can put it somewhere. I can probably set up a desk space in one of my daughter's rooms, or I can set up a space in here where that's what it's for. It's just for sitting down and writing. And I can go there for an hour and I can write. And I'm not going to say a certain amount of words. I'm not going to say I have to do, a chapter. I'm just going to say write for an hour, minimum. knowing myself, I'll get really into something and I will spend more like 2 or 3 or 4 hours at a time when I'm into it. But I want to tell myself, even if I'm not into it, I have to sit there for that hour and do some sort of writing, whether it's articles for a website or, write a story, a short story, or even poetry. I used to write a lot of poetry. So, I guess that's all to say. As much as I hate telling you my intentions. I just had a talk with Em the other day about this. I really don't like saying, I'm going to do X. I used to say, I'm going to do this. And the reality is I never do it. Now I try to spin it as, my intention is to do this. Or I hope to do this. I hope to spend an hour a day writing. Or my intention is to make writing a part of my... Because what I have found, and it's pedantic and it's weird. What I have found is if I tell anybody, I'm going to write for an hour a day, and once I've said that, once I've made that vocal into the world, I've already taken that idea out of my head and I've given it to the world, and the world goes, okay, great. I've already earned the amount of endorphins or whatever that my body's going to produce from that feeling. I've gotten it already, and so now the idea just kind of fades because it's already materialized all of the value that I'm going to get out of it. This I know is not true intellectually, but emotionally and physically, that's how it comes through. So instead, I will say things like, I intend to try to write. And, the fact of the matter is I could do it right now. I have a laptop, but it's not mine. It's not owned by me. The only computer that I have right now is owned by the state. So I don't want to write on hardware that's owned by basically the public. I would rather have my own hardware that I can write on. And I don't really want a full-on laptop where where things like Slack and Skype and Discord and all that stuff starts to kind of filter its way in. I don't want that. I just want open this thing up and I'm writing. Close it when I'm done. Move on. We'll see what happens. We'll see if it actually pulls through. We'll see we'll see if I actually follow through. But I think that I can. I think that, we're approaching 5 years of me doing this to this camera. Not this particular camera, but to a camera. 5 years of me coming down here and sharing my thoughts with the world. And I think if I can do that, I can figure out a way to put an hour of my day towards a creative endeavor. And I choose writing. I think I'm going to choose it because I can do it regardless of the tools that are available to me. I've been really enjoying, I really enjoyed the wood carvings. I really enjoyed the printmaking, but this requires, a lot of setup, a lot of tools, a lot of space, a lot of mess. Writing doesn't really require much of anything. And if I have this dedicated, this is what this is for computer, I think I can pull it off. That's my intention, at least. So I think I've got a local book, a Chromebook that I'm going to attempt. If you have an older one, I'm really not asking for a gift here. Please, I'm not asking for a gift. I'm looking to spend money, but not a lot. Let me know. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking and commenting and subscribing and being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I will see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is decorous. It is an adjective meaning behaving in a manner acceptable to polite society, having good taste and good manners. Another week with these decorous drones and I'll jump out the window, the young girl complained to her mother of her fellow debutantes. Decorous. D-E-C-O-R-O-U-S.